Hi everyone, my name is Malcolm. Welcome to what will be my channel eventually. I have been an avid fan of various engineering and machining YouTubers for the last I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and there's quite a few that I'm interested in. All sort of machine oriented or machining orientated. I've got over the last 5 years I've started to buy bits and pieces and try and take it as a bit of a hobby. Everything from an old lathe that I bought probably 2 years ago now, pre-war lathe. I think it was 1919 that thing was built. So I spent some time rebuilding that, and that effectively came in a box, and I've spent a year or so accumulating parts and bits and pieces, so it's now working, but it's sitting over there out the way just now because I've started to look at CNC type stuff. I'm really keen to get into machining with some CNC input, and I've started building what is a CNC router? Router's probably the word. Although I do intend to try and do some light milling with it as well, aluminium and steel, etc. So, I say this is my first ever video on YouTube, and I just thought if there's anyone out there that's interested in this kind of stuff, this might be interesting to you, helpful for me, because some of you guys out there, or girls that are, people out there who are into this kind of stuff and know more about this than I do, may be able to help point me in the right direction where I go wrong, or give me some advice if I'm stuck, or if what I'm doing is beneficial to anybody, then great. Hopefully you can learn with my many mistakes, or learn from my many mistakes as I go along. Anyway, so this venture of mine started probably a couple of years ago. I started accumulating bits and pieces with a long-term plan to build a large CNC router, and it's probably taken me 2 years to get to now, to this stage where I've got enough bits and pieces now to start putting things together. A lot of what I've got I've acquired through effectively junkyards, through friends who had bits and pieces, through having to buy stuff on eBay, birthday presents, Christmas presents, things that I've accumulated over the last couple of years. There's now enough here to, not enough to finish, but enough to start. So I'll give you a quick tour of what I'm up to. You can let me know what you think, and if you guys like this, if you come across this video on YouTube and you like it, let me know and I'll continue, and I'll share my experiences with you over the next probably a couple of years. But we'll see how it goes, and if you like it, let me know and I'll continue to show you what I'm up to. So let me just turn this video around, and you can have a look at what I'm doing, and we'll take it from there. So this is my CNC mill, or the start of it. What this is a standard sort of 40mm aluminium extrusion even. I think it's the heavy duty stuff. Again, I just acquired this from one of my mates who had some of it lying around. So I built a fairly robust chassis, if you like. There's angle brackets on the inside. I've put additional bracketing on the outside, and it's the same kind of structure inside. Once I turn this thing over at some point, I'll show you guys what the underside looks like. Again, it's fairly robust underneath, but anyway, long-term plan is to build a gantry style CNC router. The bed should end up somewhere in the region of, I suppose the cutting surface, if you like, should end up somewhere in the region of probably 800 by 600. This aluminium plate here is 700 by 900. So give or take, the width of the router, or the spindle, etc. You're probably looking at sort of 600 by 800, somewhere in that region. Anyway, so bits and pieces I've been accumulating over the last couple of years, aluminium and rails and steppers and all the different bits and pieces you need to build one of these things. These rails, actually, these are THK rails. I don't know if you can see that, but there's probably not in this video, but oh, there you go, you may get something there. No, you don't. These are 30mm heavy duty rails. There'll be 2 carriages on each side, so 4 carriages per axis. I'm just playing with what material I have lying around just now, trying to build some kind of, configure some kind of gantry in the short term. Long term plan would be to use this machine to build heavier duty sides for the gantry, heavier duty and flatter, more accurate cross members and goalposts and so on and so forth. Just to make this thing as sturdy and as rigid as humanly possible, given its size and the limitations of the materials. So anyway, moving on to the build. So I've started, as you can see, I've got one reel on, and I thought, well, rather than continue and not share what I'm doing, I thought I'd create some videos and show you guys what I'm up to. So I say 30mm rails. These are 920 long, these rails, and I've got the first one on. I'll show you how I do the other one on the other side over there, and how I get the holes and how I do the spacing and all the rest of it. To be honest, it's probably more brute force than ignorance than accurate. Probably half brute force and ignorance and probably half pot luck. But in my head when I was planning this thing, I thought, well, I'd make sure that at least I could get the rails coplanar by using a heavier grade or heavier base aluminium plate. So you can see the rail sits on the plate. This plate is called EcoCast. It's actually planed or ground both sides. It's 25mm thick. So it's 900 by 700. And at least if I can get both rails fixed to this, assuming this doesn't warp too much once it's fixed to this sub base or chassis here, the rail should be coplanar on that surface, on this plane, in theory. How I intend to space this rail from the rail over there is to create a spacer, a pointed spacer basically, that will, butt against this edge, butt against the same edge over there. I'll fix that end and then use the same spacer to fix the opposite end. And given the width and the girth of these rails, if you like, these shouldn't distort too much along the length. So if I can do a couple of checks on both sides, I should get the rails fairly parallel. There's a bit of play in these 8mm nuts here. There's a bit of play in these, not much, maybe, I don't know, 1/10 of a mil, maybe 2/10 of a millimetre, either direction, as long as I do the holes right and I'm lucky, or luck stays with me. So there should be enough space to adjust a couple of thou in either direction, if required, along the width of the machine, if you like, along this width. So that should give me enough adjustment to keep these things fairly accurately spaced, because that's important with the THK rails. There's hardly any play in this at all. There's no forgiveness in these rails, if you like, so they have to be fairly accurately spaced from side to side. Okay, so that's that. So that's a long-term plan, is to build this machine. It's going to be probably a 300mm travel on the spindle, so I can do 3D if I need to. Long-term plan is to have 2 ball screws, one on each side. So effectively 2 ball screws on the, I suppose you call that the y-axis. So 2 ball screws on the y-axis, just given the weight of how the sturdiness of how I intend to build the gantry. It's going to be fairly meaty, so 2 ball screws on that. Again, maybe over-engineered, I don't know. Certainly some of the lighter machines I've seen on YouTube, there's 1 ball screw, but I thought, why the hell not? Let's make it with a bit of grunt, so that it can handle anything. I say long-term plan would be to try and use this thing to do lighter cuts on some metal. We'll see how it goes. So that's where we are just now. I'll do some more videos over the next couple of days on me fitting the other rail, and how I do that, and then hopefully in the next 2 videos you'll see the gantry start to take shape, I've got the rails for the gantry, effectively the x-axis now. We've got the blocks there for the x-axis, or the bearing blocks for the x-axis. I've not yet got the ball screw for the X, but I'm working on that. And the rails on the X are long enough so I can cut and give me some length for the Z axis as well. Okay, so that's where we are. We'll leave it there. I'll do another video on the fitting of the other rail, and you can let me know what you think. Thanks, bye.